Hello, you speakers. I'm Katsa.
I'm George.
And I'm Javier.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the You Speak English podcast. I'm Katsa, and today we're tackling a hot topic that's been buzzing around the English learning world. Have you ever scrolled through social media and come across an English coach promising to help you speak fluently in just a few weeks?
I have.
Yeah, me too. I just saw one, what is it, like an hour ago? It promised that you would be able to, hack English in just 6 days.
Oh
But-
my God, that's outrageous.
6 days. I said, well, how about 5 days?
Yeah, why not 3?
Yeah, okay, let's just
If I
do
could
one.
do it in 2,
Yeah.
would you buy it?
Exactly. It's like or
So,
overnight.
Overnight?
I
No,
hope
that's
people,
too much, Kat. That's too. No. The right number is 3.
Yeah, I was pushing
6
it, right?
days.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Anyway, we're diving into the world of English coaches on social media. Are they genuinely helping learners, or could they be steering you in the wrong direction? Stick with us as we explore the importance of choosing the right guidance for your English learning journey.
That's right, guys. Social media is booming with English coaches these days, from Instagram to YouTube and TikTok. It's incredible how these platforms have made language learning more accessible than ever. Yes, take advantage of it, but buyer beware.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, Javier. We're seeing a surge of content aimed at English learners. Everything from grammar tips to pronunciation guides. These bite-sized lessons are super appealing because they're convenient and easily digestible.
And don't forget motivational posts and quick quizzes. They can definitely be engaging and make learning fun, but there's a lot to consider behind the surface. Now, there are pros, and cons of learning English from social media.
For sure. Let's break down the pros first. Social media offers a wealth of free low cost resources that can be a great supplement to traditional learning.
Yeah, and the variety of content available can help reinforce lessons and provide diverse examples of English usage. Plus, the community support on these platforms can be fantastic for interaction and practice. Just, it's not the end. It's just
Exactly.
like to get your feet wet. Keep that in mind.
Yep. But there are also downsides. For one, the advice is often one size fits all. May not cater to individual learning needs. So be careful.
Exactly. There's also the risk of misinformation. Not all advice is accurate or reliable, and the quality can be inconsistent. Not every coach has formal training in teaching English, which can impact the guidance you receive. And I would like to discuss the potential harm of following the wrong advice.
That's right. Following incorrect or oversimplified advice can seriously hinder your progress. We've seen learners struggle with incorrect grammar or pronunciation because they picked up bad habits from unreliable sources. Now, have you ever seen any, George, of advice that you say it's so oversimplified it's ridiculous?
Absolutely. I saw one on TikTok a couple of weeks ago. Something that was so hilarious about this coach. I don't even know if he's a coach. Or anyway, he was saying that not to worry. For those out there that don't know the verbs in past in English, obviously the verbs in past, any regular verbs. He said, don't worry about it. Whenever you want to, express yourself in the past tense, all you need to do is add the word did before any of the verbs, and there you go. You're speaking in the past. For example, he would say, I did go to the movies last week. Oh, I did eat at a nice restaurant. I did. So I said, what? I was in shock.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is totally misleading, incorrect. I mean, the grammar rule does exist, but it's totally for a different reason. It's not for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
it's
doesn't
for
mean that.
something used for a different thing. So imagine the thousands of people. I don't know, even probably 100 or more than 200,000 people listening to that piece of advice.
Yes.
How misinformed and misled will they be? Now, can you imagine that person trying to speak English to somebody and using that piece of advice, that's going to be
Mhm.
really, really bad for him.
Yeah.
Hey, can we do a
her.
little role play? Can we do a little role play just for that, right? Are you ready? Okay,
Yeah.
George, how was your weekend? What did you do?
Oh, I did go to the movies.
Oh, I'm not
and I
down to
did
you.
Walk. Yeah, I did. I did walk my dogs. Yeah.
I believe you. I believe you. Why do you say I did go? I didn't say you didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not
different
down to you,
form,
George.
yeah.
I'm just asking you a question.
Exactly.
Totally, Javier. You just hit it on the nail right there.
Yeah.
The thing is
yeah.
that you can use this, but as you notice, guys, Javier
It means
said, I
something
do
else.
believe you, because you can say this, but this is when you really want to be emphatic about something that you did, like you're trying to tell the other person that, please believe me, I
Mhm.
did go to the movies, but you even have to say,
Okay, I
with a,
believe you.
a different, even with a special tone and an emphasis on that. But
Yes.
yeah. So
Exactly.
be careful with those. I mean, I'm not saying
Guys.
everybody. There are some people that give really good advice,
Yeah.
but there are also many that don't. So you got to be very, very careful.
Careful.
Beware
Yeah.
of hacks. Beware of hacks, guys. Sometimes we just don't want to go through the trouble of learning irregular verbs, past participles, and everything. But there's something what we call a use and the usage. You can say it, but it's not what you're saying. It's what you meant to say.
Mhm.
So be careful. Am I right, Katza?
Yes. Let's also be aware of building bad habits, as Javier said before. Building bad habits is a big concern. If you repeatedly encounter incorrect information, it can become ingrained and so hard to unlearn. Accuracy is crucial, especially if you're starting out. So if you're a
Totally.
beginner, please don't fall down this path.
Yeah, totally correct. Now, it's important to be mindful of the potential pitfalls and ensure the advice you're following is sound and beneficial. But how to choose the right English coach or resource?
Now, how do you find this right coach, right? Well, number one, credentials matter. Look for coaches with proper qualifications and teaching experience. Google them. Try to find if they have a personal website where they're exposing their qualifications. Don't just follow them on social media because they're nice or cute or even fun. Just try to find them on LinkedIn, perhaps. Try to figure out or try to find out information about them.
Look, you got to be careful out there, guys. I seen a lot of coaches that look really nice. They're really pretty. They're really handsome guys that are really fit. I've seen coaches that are guys with a six-pack. I mean, what does that have to do with language learning? Maybe he'll motivate you to keep on going, but that doesn't mean he'll.
Yeah, but that's not going to be your teacher.
That's not gonna be a teacher. Just got to see his abs.
Exactly.
Now, here's a question, guys. I'm gonna throw out there. How many years experience do you think is very basic? Because in my opinion, if your coach has less than 8 years experience, he's a beginner. What's your take?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
I mean, I would be even more lenient than you. I would say even, 3 years. I mean, real teaching experience full time with having the right credentials and studying.
At the least.
Yeah, I mean, he would have some credentials
Right.
and knowledge, and to give some sort of, educated, tips.
Yes.
I know in my experience, it took me about 5 years to kind of be a good teacher, because at the beginning it was like, no, I admit it, I was no good. I had no experience, no learning. It wasn't maybe what I wanted to do. Most of us, George, myself, Kata, we have been teaching for over 30 years, most of us. Yeah, you got to look for someone that's been in the field, and also check their teaching methods. It is best to follow those who use established, research-based backed methods rather than just random tips. A lot of people think that if they pick up a book, they can teach. It's not that easy.
You mentioned something important there, Javier, about the experience, which I do appreciate very much experience, but I also think it's experience. It's experience is king. But I think if this thing exists, the concept of coach or teacher, instructor, I believe is somebody that never stops learning in how to teach somebody else. People change, times change. It's education is alive. So I think that the way you taught somebody taught or somebody did something 30 years ago doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing it right if you're doing it the way you did it 30 years ago. Now, what it would be significant if you started 30 years ago, but the 30 years ago, every year or every month of those 30 years, you've been learning and trying different methods or strategies and improving on it and learning new techniques and adapting technology, adapting to, times. I think that's what's really, really significant. So it's, yes, I would not go, towards one side of saying, you have 30 years of experience. Yeah, you could probably have 30 years of experience of doing the same thing over and over and over. Probably times change, and no, look at what happened to teachers that during the pandemic, the ones that have been used, that were used to teaching one way for decades, 30 or 40 years, using a typical, the traditional whiteboard or even probably blackboard, some of them, and the chalk or markers and posters,
flashcards in front of the camera.
Yeah, and this happened, the pandemic happened. Oh, guess what? You're gonna teach online. Many quit because I don't know how to teach that way. I don't know, or I'm not even willing to try to learn. I just rather quit and try to do something else. So I think it's important that you also, whoever's looking for a good teacher or coach, do look at that, the kind of experience, the kind of personality your teacher has. Okay, he's knowledgeable, but he's also good at technology. He also uses the different tools and that technology offers to help me learn a language.
Yeah. And I'd like to add something that happened with my good friend George here when he got into a semi-argument with another colleague. The other guy said, I've been teaching for 10 years. And since George knew him from way back, he said, no, you've been teaching the same book for 10 years. Over and over again. Be careful. Totally. And that's why people have a bad impression of online classes. Simply because, like George said, pandemic pushed us into it and they didn't adapt. And as Katza mentioned, people are flashing their cards in front of the camera when, hey, buddy, there's PowerPoint. You guys ever heard of that? But no, you gotta say, I don't know, call me crazy.
There's
something beyond PowerPoint. Now it's called Canva, right, Katza?
Yes.
Right? And then you move on to Canvas and you move something up. But like George said, and I have to reiterate, you gotta have a passion for learning. And if you don't have it, time, yes, it doesn't really count. It's just numbers.
And don't forget to read reviews and testimonials. Feedback from other learners can give you insights into a coach's effectiveness and track record. Now, let's discuss the importance of complementing social media learning with formal education.
Right. So while social media can be a fantastic resource, not source, a resource, it's essential to complement it with formal education, with structured lessons, regular practice, and feedback from trained professionals. Those are the keys for mastering English.
Exactly. Use social media as a supplement to your formal studies, not as a replacement. Be careful. It's about finding the right balance and integrating useful tips with a solid learning framework. You can't just learn little bits and pieces,
Exactly.
And online. It's something that's functional. Think of it like, are you going to learn karate online without actually fighting with somebody else?
Yeah.
That's going to be a toughie.
Yes, absolutely. All right. To wrap things up, social media can be a valuable tool for learning English, but it's important to be cautious and selective about the advice you follow.
So, your journey to mastering English is unique, and it deserves the best guidance possible. By putting your education in the right hands, you're setting yourself up for success.
So, just to wrap up, guys, have you ever followed an English coach on social media? What was your experience like? Share your thought with us. But before we go, drum roll. The fun fact of the day.
Yes, please.
Yay!
So, guys, picture this. It is 11th century England. You live in 11th century England. Would you like that, Katza? Would you like that,
Oh
George?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine no showers, no bathrooms,
No soap.
no toilet
Everything
paper.
dirty. I don't think so,
Mm.
Javier. Not me.
Okay.
Count me out of that one.
Okay, take it back. I guess if I were the king. Now, back in the 11th century England, there were a lot of jobs that were centered around the crown and the royal family. The persons who kept up with all these legal recordings concerning the crown held the title of Custos Placitorum Coronae. No, it's not Harry
Wow,
Potter.
that's a mouthful.
It's not Harry Potter.
That's a mouthful.
Why is it Latin if they lived in England? We'll talk about
Exactly.
Oh, we talked about this last episode, didn't we?
Yes, we did. You guys weren't paying
Yes.
attention. Exactly. So, okay, that person was also known as the keeper of the police of the crown. That sounds better, right?
Super.
Now,
Mhm.
crown in Latin is the word corona, not the beer.
Like the beer.
Yeah, I like the beer, but
Oh.
not the beer. Which is why it's called a coronation when someone receives a crown for the first time. Like this new prince in England. What's his name? Prince.
William.
No, the other guy, his dad. Prince.
Charlie.
Charlie Brown.
He's
Charles.
Yeah,
Charles.
Prince Charles, right?
Charles.
Just
No,
he was
now
just-
he's King Charles.
Yeah,
now
he's king now.
Yeah, he's king. He was coronated.
Is
Yeah.
royalty now. Well,
and
he's
now
always been royalty.
sick. Royalty.
He was born royalty.
He was born, and we'll never be royals.
I know.
So over time, this position of the keeper of the police of the crown sort of morphed into a kind of a backup sheriff, you know? One of their duties was that if someone found a dead body and the main sheriff was unavailable, was he on vacation?
Was he at a coronation?
He was on a coronation. Yeah, ooh, Corona baby. Well, this guy, he went to find out what happened to the dead guy. Okay. Over time, the word crown became the person who investigates someone's death. Do you know
Oh.
what we call that person? That person is known as a coroner.
Ah,
Oh, a coroner.
a coroner.
I
Okay.
always thought it was for some other reason.
So a
This guy was
coroner-
in some corner waiting for something to happen.
No, that's
He's
the
on
guy
the
who does
south.
the autopsy, right?
Yeah, that's the guy that does the autopsy.
Coroner.
Coroner.
Yes.
What'd you
Coroner.
think he was
Coroner.
protected like-
Crown.
He's in the
Corona. It makes
corner.
sense.
Where's that guy? He's in the coroner.
He's in the
He's in the
coroner.
Corner. So how do you call this in Spanish? How do you call it? Oh, so a coroner first is a person who
Does the autopsy.
Carries out the autopsy.
carries out the autopsies.
Right.
How do you call this in Spanish? A coroner is a
Forensic.
forensic.
Forensic. Mhm.
Forensic.
Yeah.
Forensic.
How's that? He's a foreigner.
Yeah.
Foreigner, forensic. I don't- We'll have to look it
El
up.
forense is a foreigner.
Yeah. He's a forensic.
I
Okay.
think so.
I didn't bring a joke today, but I have one that I know. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
All right, here we go. So this guy walks into a bar, and he's feeling a little bit down. You know, his girlfriend left him.
Oh.
But he's got his dog next to him, and he doesn't have any more money. He wants to keep on drinking. And he says, "Bartender." He says, "Yeah, I'll make you a bet." All right, I'm on. So I says, "I'll bet you $100 my dog can talk." "Oh, you're on, buddy. Here's my 100.
Uh-huh.
Put the 100 on top of the counter, right? So the guy looks at his dog and says, "All right, Scrappy, what do you call that thing on the outside of trees?" And the dog goes, "Bark, bark." "Ah, man, your dog can't talk. Give me my 100. Oh, wait. He can talk. I swear to God. Give me a chance. Okay, he can talk. Okay, come on. Concentrate, Scrappy. Come on. What do you call that thing on the top of houses?" And the dog goes, "Roof." He says, "Come on, give me my 100. Okay, so the guy walks out of the bar. He's got no money. He can't drink anymore. You know, he's looking glum. The dog, he looks down at the dog like saying, "You stupid dog." The dog sadly looks up to him and says, "You think I should have said ceiling?"
Ah.
Maybe.
Jesus. What a bummer.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, very well done. So to correct Javier, I do have to say that I am royalty because today I'm going to a coronation. And I'm going to call the bartender. I'm gonna call him coroner.
Oh, Corona. Give me two
Corona.
Coronas.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, it's like I'm the same, Katz. I went to the dentist last week, and my dentist says you need a crown, and I'm like, I know, right?
I know, exactly. Okay, this is it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to subscribe and share. Want to get in touch? Check out our YouTube channel where you can comment on our videos and find us please on social media. We're everywhere except for X and Threads as at ÜSPK English, the one with the yellow logo. For more information about us, please visit our website and remember,
Perfect practice.
Makes perfect.
all right, until next time. Bye-bye.
See you then.